Why did we start this business?
Last year was rough.
I remember thinking how cool it would be to be a travel agent.
No filters, no fuss, just travel with us. Happily unpacking. Happily unpacking. Oh yeah.
Welcome to Happily Unpacking, the podcast where we unpack both vacations and real life. I'm Danielle.
And I'm Kayla, and we're Happily Booked Vacations.
And around here, we're all about intentional travel, honest conversations, and the joy in the details.
So grab your coffee, your favorite beverage, settle in, and let's unpack it. Wow, we're good at this.
Let's get to unpacking. Today we're unpacking something a little personal. It's our first year in business. Oh, goodness. And so we want to talk about what we've learned, what were some of the trials, what things surprised us, and of course, where we want to see Happily Booked Vacations head to next.
Yes. All right, I've got some questions for you. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. These
Okay.
are surprise questions.
Spicy.
I know.
No,
I
they're
don't even know what they are.
Not really.
I feel
think they're
I
interesting.
prepared nothing for you. I feel like it's like a wedding vow. Like you've got like 2 pages.
What are
of-
your vows for me?
Like you got 2 pages of written vows, and I'm like, I do.
Yeah.
What she said.
Love you.
Oh, love you too. Okay, question. Sorry, I digress.
So, question number 1 that I thought we could talk about. Why did we start this business? What in the heck
What were we
were we
doing?
thinking?
What are we doing?
And what led us here?
I don't know. I don't know that we know. No, we do. We do know.
We sort of know.
We kind of know. Okay, why did we do this? What got us here to start with? I think we should start with like the earliest place that this began.
Yes, I think so too.
I think we need to go all the way back to the beginning.
And I think that is your childhood.
It is. I was 19. No, you don't get that information. I was a child in the 19 somethings. Yeah, that makes me. Yeah, I'm okay. It's okay. It's okay. But you don't need to know exactly what year it is. We just need to know that it was a minute ago.
Mm-hmm.
And a minute ago, I bet I was 8 or so. That's kind of about the age that sticks in my head where I remember, because I was very fortunate to be a young girl and able to travel. So
Yeah.
my parents, I was on flights when I was pretty young.
Okay.
Which was not typically, that was not very normal, I think, in that time. So like in the 80s, you still had like, travel was luxury. Travel was like still very elevated. And it had sort of an air to it. Like if you could afford to go to Hawaii or do those things, like there was a prestige that kind of went along with that. You were definitely
less
like
mainstream.
you were like upper middle class instead of like middle lower. Like there was a I think a stigma. I guess that's probably not the best word, but
And
there
so
was
most
something-
families like camped.
most
Went
families
camping.
could, or
like
trip.
RVing. Yeah,
And
yeah.
so if you could afford to fly, if you could take your family on a flight, you know, it was kind of a big deal. And so I remember flying when I was very little. I remember walking on the plane, and every kid got their little wings.
Really?
Right? And everybody, like you always got a
That's
deck
like
of you
a
got
rare
a deck
thing now.
of playing cards. So you got like had something, you play solitaire, right? This is before TVs and phones and all that stuff, right? That you get
Right.
to watch now.
There was no phone to watch on
remember
the plane.
a smoking and a non-smoking section on an airplane. I have those memories of being
Wow.
a young girl flying with the smoking section. Isn't that weird? Wild to think. that
You
they-
weren't in the smoking
No, I
section.
wasn't in the smoking. My parents didn't smoke, so I didn't have I wasn't in the smoking section.
But you saw it.
But I saw it, and it was
Wow.
it was wild to think about now about how many places, especially in the United States, do not allow smoking to be on a plane.
And there were no windows open.
No, like you had to rely exclusively on the system, the air system. But I remember every flight you got a meal. Like your meal was part of it. It was always hot meals and full meals. It wasn't like they weren't throwing you crackers.
Right.
Like it was a full meal.
Wow.
And when you were young, especially, you got all these like little fun things for being a kid on a plane. So I remember this as a young girl, and I don't know exactly. Like, I don't have the memories exactly of how my parents obtained that flight, but I guarantee you at the time, because this is pretty much how you did it, you went to a travel agent. We didn't have, the internet. It wasn't this world where you got to go pluggity plug, online and have 4,000 websites tell you, here's your thing, book now, right?
Exactly.
Just press a couple buttons. You want me to store your credit card? Yeah, you don't have to type it in.
Yeah.
That wasn't the era that I grew up in. And so having those kind of experiences so young, I remember thinking how cool it would be to be a travel agent, to actually like book this stuff for people, to how fun to put together itineraries and the logistics and those kind of things. I remember feeling like that would be a cool job.
Yeah. Were you actually like in the office of the travel agent with your parents, seeing it?
I don't have a specific memory of that.
Okay.
Meaning like I'm sure I was.
Yeah.
I'm sure I was. I was a little girl. Your parents didn't go many places without you.
Right.
When you're young, right?
Right.
Like you weren't staying at
I'm
home.
not gonna leave you at a babysitter for that.
Yeah.
You're gonna go to the office.
And so I'm sure there's some core memories that are built into there, but I don't have recollection of that specifically. But I was very young. And it's one of those dreams that I think always was like, that would be a fun job. That would be fun. I mean, honestly, like in like a Broadway,
That or being
or musical theater,
super famous and
whatever.
rich.
No, you're not super famous and rich. Come on now. But singing and dancing on like shows, like that would be a cool dream.
Right.
I digress. But I like always thought it would be really cool to be a travel agent and put those logistics together and kind of create this, because I got to experience at such a young age what it was like to experience the result of someone else doing that.
Right.
And
Being
I think
the
that there was
customer.
I think there was a nice connection of how much fun would that be to be that person that could bring that joy. So that happened long ago. Fast forward, I got married, I had kids, I got divorced, I got married, was in insurance, I raised babies. So many different things took place in those years. And then as of course the age of the internet, the ease of being able to book your travel was happening. I was booking all the travel. I was making all the travel plans. All of our family trips were me, all of our friends and things like that. Not all, like that's probably a little too inclusive. Many were me. And so I got very good at figuring out the logistics and the airport codes and all of those different details. And it just because I was doing it, not because I was a travel agent, just because I was just out of happenstance.
Yeah.
And a couple of years ago, some of my closest, my best friends in the whole wide world had said they were having me book their stuff again. And of course I love it, so I want to. And it was multiple times that people would say, why aren't you doing this for like a living? Why aren't you getting paid to do this? And I'd always put that like, that's ridiculous, because I know that predominantly it's a commission only job, it's based on sales, and I was raising babies.
You're like, that's too risky.
I'm not going to stop. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Why would I do that?
You're being silly.
Anyway, I think the early memories of that is what kind of brought it back around into my mind. So I went online and said, hey, and I love Disney so much. So I do want to be like, I love Disney. I love going to Disney World. I love the Disney parks, Disney cruises. I love them. So I want to be able to help people with those things that I love. So I was like, Disney travel agent. Like, how do I do this?
Yeah.
And sure enough, I'm like, oh, look, that's how you do it. You get into a host agency. Like, here's how you can begin. So that's kind of where the dream began. And then enters
No offense.
Kayla. A long time ago.
So long ago.
So now Kayla enters the chat.
Yeah, and I can't say the same. It's not like I can be like, wow, I've always wanted to be a travel agent. But sometimes life just, brings you down a path you didn't expect. I would say most people would say that, they're probably in a job that they didn't foresee.
Necessarily,
right, when they were a kid. But I will say that I have wanted to be an entrepreneur or a business owner basically probably my whole life, because my parents have always owned their own company.
Yeah.
And they actually tried 8 different businesses before one really stuck and was successful. And they were like a huge picture of perseverance, just never giving up, always just pushing so hard. I think my dad just knew he did not want to work for someone else. And he was like, I know I don't want that. I know I want to work for myself. So what does that look like? They own a fire safety company. And so I got to watch them, have employees and be leaders and figure out the accounting and how to get new customers and all those different difficult
all the things, all the business things,
pieces. Yeah,
all
as
of
a
the
business owner,
annoying business things.
you got to figure out how to be an expert in many different areas. And I always just was so impressed by that, I guess, and inspired by that. And but I wasn't necessarily like, oh, I want that to be my business. You know, it wasn't like I want to be in the family business.
Yeah, it wasn't like I want to take over dad's business.
Right.
But you saw what it was like firsthand to have like an entrepreneurial family.
Yeah, and what that could look like and how that could be successful and really cool. And working for yourself, you have so many more freedoms, and we were able to make amazing family memories. Even like just an example, my dad was able to take off a whole summer, and we were just able to golf every single day.
Yeah.
You know, and I did play golf in college, so it all led to something. But that is an example of the life that you can have if you work for yourself, which I just thought was so cool. Much easier said than done.
So I have to ask,
Yeah.
did you start other businesses or other testing out before we got to this place?
Yes. So in college was when I was first playing around with, okay, what do I want to do after college? Should I start a company? And I knew I loved marketing. I knew I loved business. So I started out with a business degree and went, I hate accounting and numbers, gross. Think I'll do the marketing again. Never again. Think I'll do the marketing part. So I knew that I loved marketing. That was question number one. That was solved, and I knew that was going to be part of my life. And then we actually, in our classes, had to create fake businesses, right?
Okay, yep.
And so I created a wedding planning, party planning kind of business. Yeah. And after college, I actually did kind of launch it. Like I got a business license.
Really?
And I was like, and I was like, I'm going to plan parties.
Look at you go.
And then I probably could have made it work, but I just never felt like it was really right. And it just never seemed like there was a market for it. It was like, well, my passion is creating parties on a really great budget. Right?
Yeah.
For myself.
Right.
And I could help people do that in a minute. I would love that. But does that make sense for being a profitable business to help somebody spend as little as possible? Not exactly. That was always the problem with
a little counterintuitive.
So I was like,
and I mean there's ways,
you know what I mean?
And there's a service in helping people who don't have a lot. Like that is such an important job,
right,
in our culture, in our society, helping.
Absolutely.
I get there's a place for it.
Yeah, there's a need, but it's not a profitable
when you're trying
model.
to build a business model of profitability. Yeah, it does come a little bit.
Yeah, and so people just kind of do it themselves instead. You know, it's just a DIY type of market. And I do have friends sometimes that are like, I'll pay you to make me a balloon arch. I'm like, okay, that's still fun, but do I want that to be a career?
The job.
Not really. And then I was like, well, I could be, a wedding planner and do very expensive weddings. And that's obviously a very lucrative career. But I didn't really want my clientele to be high-end people who want their wedding day to be absolutely perfect. Because I was like, well, that sounds like a very stressful line of work as well, where your whole job is making sure that this person thinks this day is absolutely perfect. And if it's not, you might have a bridezilla on your hands.
Right.
You know what I mean? So those were some of the business ideas I played with. In about 2016, I was inspired by a friend who told me, you should start a blog. So I did that. That's why a lot of my personal social media is Miss K DIY, because I do still love DIY costumes and parties, and that will always be a hobby of mine and probably a part of my social media personality. But again, it was well, how do you, it was just really hard. Yeah. I would spend hours on a blog post and I would get a few dollars from the ads that were on it. Yeah. Pinterest ended up being super successful for that. So I figured out a couple of things, but it just would have taken years to be profitable. Yeah. So you basically work your butt off for free for years.
For a long time. Yeah.
And I did for a while, but I was like, I just don't think I loved being in business by myself. I think that's what it really comes down to.
That's interesting. Yeah, I get it.
And then I had a different side hustle this year in mind.
Well, let me back up and ask you.
Yeah.
When you say that you weren't thinking you didn't like being in business for yourself. You mean working alone
by myself?
Yeah. Okay, so not it wasn't a matter of not appreciating being an entrepreneur or having the ability to persevere. It's just trying to do it alone
Yes.
was where you were finding the struggle.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think I enjoyed that. I don't think I liked spending hours on my computer by myself and no one was like in it with me. And
Right.
sure, my family's supportive and everything, but like,
Yeah, but there's something different about and I don't want to say misery loves company is the right way to describe this, but I think that there is something important about being validated. Like when you go through these experiences, you're in the trenches with somebody else who's also seeing these hard things. It's so much. It's weirdly like settling
Comforting.
and peaceful and comforting to have somebody else to go like, you get it, right? You get
Yes.
it. No, they get it. You don't have to talk about it. You're in it.
Totally. And the start of this year, I knew I wanted to kind of add in some kind of side hustle, right? Because I work in digital marketing. I have a full-time job, but I was like, I think I could do more, and I think I enjoy that.
That you'd have fun with it.
And a little more money would be nice. So that was my mindset.
Yeah, side hustles are always like that could be like we can make money.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
do that.
when we talk about side hustles, we talk about like the first thing that comes to mind. Oh, cha-ching! Like that'll be really profitable because you just do this thing and then you get lots of money.
Exactly. And there's like a million ideas now to do that. The world's your oyster, and it's just now the challenge of like which one is actually going to be successful.
Right.
So I ended up stumbling across this one where you make audiobooks. Right. And I was like, oh, I think that's really interesting. That might be fun. But again, I was still thinking like, I'm going to be in business for myself. I just might ask my friends for help. And I don't know if you want to now tell like how you got into voice recording, but
yeah, it's like a little piece of my world.
It's a winding road
in between going from where I'm at now and my I guess my career job, which is insurance and financial services, where I kind of hit an end in a road, and I went, you know what, I don't want to do the 9 to 5 anymore. And so I thought, well, what would I like to do? Well, back to like acting and stage acting and such. I'm like, I'm not gonna like somehow break into acting.
I'm not gonna be on Broadway.
Stage acting. I've never done this. I don't have a clue what I'm doing. I'd be awful, I'm sure. Like there's something that's like, could I have done that? And then I go, yeah, I'm not even gonna try. I know nobody in the industry. I don't have any ins. I'm like, literally,
it would have been so hard.
Literally, I don't know what I'm doing. So then I thought, well, next best thing, voice acting. Also, funny enough, same thing. I didn't know anybody in the industry.
Yeah.
I was like, but I'm like, this is easy.
Side hustle.
Because you just do it from your house, right? I build my little studio.
It does sound easy on the surface.
On the surface, it sounded so much easier. I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to like act. But I do, but it's just the voice. And so I thought for sure I would do this. And I was doing that pretty much for the last about 3 years. About 2 years. But that is where you knew what I was doing. And you knew because we have been friends for a hot minute. We'll get into that in a second. But that's you knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
And reached out and was like, I have an idea.
Yeah, because I'm now going to create audiobooks, right? So I'm like, I know a voice actress.
I know a voice actress.
Duh.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, maybe we could come up with some kind of deal, because actually part of this audiobook side hustle is that you make a deal with a voice actor.
Yeah.
And you can do that through Amazon. You can actually there's a whole, database of different voice actors that are all saying, I'm available for hire. And I was like, well, I could find a random person that I don't know and make a deal with them.
Or I could call my friend.
I could call my friend and just ask her if she's interested. Might as well. And you were like, what did you say? You were just like, let's meet. Let's actually have a conversation about this.
Let's talk about this
Wednesday.
because I have an idea
And I was like, okay.
that might benefit both of us.
Yeah. And I just thought you were going to talk about audiobooks. I was like completely surprised.
Yes. So after you brought that to my attention about like potentially talking about audiobooks and doing that recording, I had recently become certified as a travel agent. And I don't think you knew that at that point.
I think you had just said like, I'm going to do it to pay for my Disney vacations.
Yeah, like
and
something
I was like, okay. I thought it was no big deal.
Right.
Yeah.
And it really kind of wasn't, except all of a sudden, God plopped into my lap somebody who likes to market. And there's loathing when it comes to the idea of having to be responsible for marketing, especially myself. I don't want to market myself. This is one of the most terrifying things, I think, personally, of starting any business and being an entrepreneur is marketing yourself.
Yep.
And I would bet that about 90 plus, I'd give it even higher, maybe 99% of people who start a business, that is singly the biggest fear.
Yep.
And the hardest thing
The part
to
they
get
hate the
past.
most.
They hate the most. It is not the natural inclination of most people.
No.
And even if you're really good at it, you probably
hard.
can attest to this. It's hard to market yourself.
It's very hard.
So
it's uncomfortable.
I came to you and I was like, time out. I have recently become certified as a travel agent, but I'm like really struggling with the marketing, with getting out there, and I really want to dive into social media. I really think that it's a good trajectory to create some parasocial relationships and work very hard in our social media space to like reach people. I don't know, be friends. I like people.
Make friends on the internet.
But I like people. But I like people in person, and I like people afar, and I like people online, and I'm not like that. That was weird. I like people that I'm communicating with. I like people. I like finding out about their lives and their interests and just things that make them uniquely them.
Yeah.
And that natural inclination was like, I want to somehow be somebody that has an online presence that people see as like a friend.
Yeah.
Right? How do I get there? Well, I knew the logistics of what to do.
Right.
I couldn't get past any of the actual the mechanics of actually doing it.
I don't know if I would have liked it by myself either.
You don't think so?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Well, I mean, you kind of have been in a few entrepreneurial places where you've had to market yourself. Is it hard?
Posting every single day for myself.
That's different.
Not as fun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Here's why I'm great. Every single
We
day.
had a conversation about how I could help you do voiceover for free, right?
Right.
And then I thought, well, maybe you could help me with marketing for free, because I couldn't afford yet to pay you and you couldn't afford yet to pay me. So maybe we do like an exchange. Like, I'll do this for you, and then you do this for me, and then we'll do this thing.
Yep.
This episode of Happily Unpacking is brought to you by, well, us. Happily Booked Vacations exists to help families plan magical, stress-free trips, and we'd love to help with yours. If you want a completely free vacation quote, text TRAVEL to 602-935-8655. We'll handle the details. You just pack happily.
So then about a month into you and I talking,
Yes.
we very quickly was like, writing books, producing things.
We bit off a little more than we can
I
chew.
don't know that we can do all of this. I think what happened is we were trying to build up not only our socials, like the recording and the different things to actually create content, at the same time that I was like hours of in my closet recording and editing, and it's so time consuming. And I'm like, how could I do this? And I remember telling you at one point, do you remember me like, I bet I could knock out like a book a month.
Oh, yeah. No, wasn't it even less? You were like, I can record a book a week or something.
No, I never promised such a thing. There's no way I promised that.
Well, I think maybe it was like, I can record a book a week and then I can take a week to edit it. Or maybe it was something like that.
I don't think I would have.
I never would have said that.
I don't think I ever would have.
Yeah,
said that.
point is, it took a lot longer than we were thinking. And we already have other jobs.
There's other things we were doing.
We got to be fair to ourselves.
And at the time, I was actively in ministry, so I was leading a whole young adult group, which takes up a lot of time.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be able to continue to do that.
Remember how many times you said you have this on Saturday and this on
Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then I had a praise team I was responsible for at church.
Yep.
And then, your family, at some point you see them. At least you hope. You hope you see your family. And you were kind of in the same boat. You had a full-time job.
Yep.
And you still still like are trying to put it all together.
Yep.
And raise 2 babies and be involved at church.
Yeah. The plate is not actually less. It's just that we realized, okay, we can't fit 2 new businesses on it
we
right now.
probably shouldn't add 2 new businesses. But I think the other thing is, and you correct me if I'm wrong, you were really excited about the travel. You're like, wait, that business looks fun. I want to do that business. That looks like a fun business.
You are not wrong.
Yeah. You're like, what are you doing? I like that. I want to do it too.
That's actually really fun. Yeah, it's not that maybe I just didn't understand, like probably most people,
Yeah.
like what a travel agent does, what that
Yeah.
means, what that looks like.
Right.
And then I started to realize after we got into it a little bit, like, oh,
Yeah.
we just get to talk about how amazing Disney is and Universal is and cruises are, which I've done a billion of and absolutely
Which are things
love.
I was already doing.
Yeah.
I was already telling everybody. I'm like, oh my
Right.
goodness, you should go. Like I
In
went
your real life,
I
yeah.
remember going to Universal for the first time in 2019, I think,
Yeah.
with my daughter.
Mhm.
No, 2021. It was 21 because it was the year she graduated. I don't know, somewhere in there.
Okay.
And we went to Universal Orlando for the first time.
Yes.
And I remember getting back. I was telling
Whole other level.
everybody. I was like, you have to go. You have to go.
Oh,
It's
yes.
the funnest thing ever. So,
Oh,
and that
yes.
was before they opened Epic Universe.
Oh yeah, which has taken it to a completely different level, which we need to do an episode on Epic Universe. So
Yeah,
come
eventually.
back for that. So yeah, I think I just realized, wow, this Happily Booked Vacations thing could be really fun.
Yeah.
And it could be a business that I co-own, which has been something that I've kind of always desired.
Yeah.
And it would be a really fun business.
Right.
And we could be really joyful and playful with it because it has joyful and playfulness in the concept. I mean, obviously you can be more of like a luxury travel agent that's like, oh, I can't be silly because I sell,
Luxury travel.
right, resorts and adult only cruises where we drink.
You're
wine.
making it sound like it's such a terrible thing. It's just not our niche.
No, it's great. Yeah,
No,
but
it's good stuff.
But it's not us.
It's not
And
us.
We just
Not
are.
me.
We're having so much fun with just being silly a
I
little
think-
bit.
I think being authentic.
Yes.
So it was just,
It's so fun.
I think the realization that something that meant that we could be just who we are.
Yes.
And what do they say in business? Like if you enjoy what you're doing, you don't work a day in your
Exactly.
life, right?
We haven't worked at all.
We haven't worked basically at all. We've done nothing.
I think that's a good segue into what has been the hardest part.
Oh my goodness.
you?
I think the hardest part is trusting the process.
Yeah.
And by that, I mean anybody who's gone before us in business, not just in travel, like as a travel agent,
Right.
but anybody who's gone before in business and starting off something new, what is the hardest part, right? And it's not the
Yeah.
starting. Starting is easy. Starting
Yeah.
is like, what? I'm so excited.
when you're high,
You
on life.
have so much energy and you don't know what you don't know, right?
I knew you were going
And
to say that.
then you start learning what you don't know.
Yep.
And then the panic sets in.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not really good at
Right.
it yet.
You see the vast amount of things
You
that you don't
see
know how to do.
All the things that you
You're
don't
like,
know how to
oh,
do.
no.
And you go, oh, I don't know that I can do this.
Yeah.
And that's where most businesses fail right there. And I think but it's funny
Mhm.
because like I knew that. In my mind, I knew that was
Right.
coming. I knew that I would feel this way. And
Mhm.
yet there's this like still, no matter how many times people tell you or how many successful business owners will share that same piece of information.
Yep.
It's nothing like when it hits you and you're like, oh, I'm a dummy. And you're not. You just you're fully aware
Yeah.
of how much you don't know.
Right.
The more you start diving into something new.
Mm-hmm.
And then it becomes overwhelming.
Yep.
And this is the
And then it's
sludge
scary.
we're in. So we
Yes.
started this. We had our conversation
Yeah.
February of 2025.
It's almost our anniversary.
It hasn't even been a full year. We're just
Right.
coming up on it.
Yeah.
And the hardest has been that coupled with a lot of really, 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 really big and tragic and unexpected life changes last year.
Yeah.
So some of the
Last year was rough.
the most significant life changes took place in 2025. And
Yep.
that, of course, when you couple that with starting a new business,
Yeah.
it's kind of like
Mhm.
stating the obvious, but that wasn't specific to the business. It was just
Your
the
life.
timing
Yeah. Just life.
was, it was rough.
Yeah.
So
But we talked about this earlier off camera. Like the cool part is, even though obviously there were tons of terrible things, the cool part is we probably wouldn't have been able to continue if we were by ourselves.
totally wouldn't have.
Wouldn't have been able to, wouldn't have wanted
Totally
to.
wouldn't have.
Probably. Like we would have just been like, clearly this is not the right path because nothing's going right. I
Right.
can't do this by myself. I'll go do something else. So
Oh,
just
yeah.
work for somebody
Do you know,
else.
what I would have done?
Yeah.
I probably would have been like, I'm out and I'm
Mhm.
going to go back to like insurance or something familiar, something
Yeah.
comfortable.
Right.
And that's a pretty standard and typical, I think, reaction to when
Pretty
things get
logical
tough.
choice.
You go back into comfort, right? The
Right.
things you know. But that's where that perseverance and pushing through makes the difference in success. And so
Yes.
while I can't even say that we've proven successes at this point,
Right.
I mean, a success stories in that I think we've served many people well. I think we've cared, even if we've not done
Yeah.
things perfectly, or their travel like went askew or
Right,
whatever, maybe
right.
things out of our control. But we've, I think, been successful in that place. It isn't to say
Yeah.
that we have no successes.
Right.
It's to say that when you look at it from just a pure profitability
Right.
standpoint,
They're just small.
we're not rolling in it, guys. Yeah. So I think that's
And that's
and it's
actually
a-
normal for travel agents because,
Yeah.
you don't really get paid until they actually travel.
right.
And many people don't travel for an entire year. I mean, it's actually
Yeah.
very smart to plan your travel 2 years in advance. So
But-
it is normal, but that doesn't mean that it's easy,
No. What do you feel was like probably the single biggest lesson learned last year, or the biggest in this last year? What do we feel like we've learned about business that we didn't know before? It was a little eye-opening or maybe a little bit different than we expected it to be.
I think I just had a lot of learning, and probably still do, of like what works, because there's so many things that you can do
Right.
to grow your business.
Right.
There's like, now in this day and age in 2026, you have literally like 100 different ways that you can market your business,
Right.
different ways you can obviously run your business.
Mm-hmm.
And so the hard part is you got to like find like 3 ways and really lean into them. And it's very easy to fall into the trap of like, but we can do it all.
right.
We can do
We talk a lot
Pinterest
about that.
and Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and Facebook
And what if we
and
did this?
website and
And-
SEO, and
Yeah.
we could do paid ads. And
Right.
those are all true.
That is true.
But
Or we could scrap it all and be like knocking door to door. And
Yes.
honestly, that can work too.
exactly events, having a booth somewhere,
Yeah.
messaging people,
Uh-huh.
all are viable ways to get this done. But I think that's what we're starting to realize, like,
But we
as
can't
we're
do it all.
reflecting back, like we're not going to be able to do everything, and nor should we.
Yeah.
We don't have all of the time and resources in the world to try everything. We're not a huge corporation. We got to figure out the 3 things and then
What works,
lean into
and
them.
then do them.
And sometimes you can't even learn those things until you try.
I was trial and error. Yeah.
Trial
a little
and
bit
error.
of trial and error.
Yeah.
Do you know what's funny about the trial and error?
Mhm.
Is that, we work so hard to kind of figure out how to create virality in our social media space.
Yeah.
And then we accidentally
Yes.
on a
This is
red
funny.
eye flight,
It's ironic.
totally accident, like wasn't even playing with, testing a
You're
new
right.
microphone. And we heard the playback on it. And I told you, I said, you know what that sounds like? That sounds like over an intercom,
Yes.
like the pilot talking to his husband. She's like, oh my gosh, what did you like? Give us up. Yeah, it totally does. And
We were about to film a different video. We had planned in our heads this whole thing. Like, we're going to do a
Completely
video of
something
you
different.
putting a face mask
Yep.
on
Yep.
a plane, which
totally
is
different.
funny.
Mm-hmm.
But then we end up going, let's do a little,
So
video.
So one take, totally plain, not even, we didn't even record it more than once.
Yeah,
We recorded it.
one time.
We laughed at ourselves, and then we thought, is it just us? Or, I mean, it is like 2 a.m, 3 a.m,
Yes.
4 a.m,
Right.
something
Are
awful.
we just delirious?
Are we delirious on lack of sleep? Is that why we think this is so
Or are
funny?
we funny?
Or are we actually funny? It's impossible that we were just funny.
Oh my gosh. And so, you got to go find the video on Instagram, I
Yep.
guess, if you want to see it. And what really
It
cracked
was
me
like
up.
no script, no nothing. I had no
Off the
idea
cuff.
what you were going to say. You
Off
were
the cuff.
talking. I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
you didn't even know.
me?
Yeah, we didn't even talk through it.
Yeah, you. I'm like, we didn't practice any of it.
Your acting
And-
is great.
And what went viral?
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
That one.
And we posted it like literally that day, maybe at not even
At like
optimal
5 in the
time or
morning
anything. We're
when
just like, let's just post it.
We got a long, busy day ahead of us. We got to get a post out there.
We're
Actually, why
traveling,
don't
yeah.
you just like, because we were on our fam trip. We were doing ship tours. We were doing hotel tours. We were in
On
Universal.
like 2 hours of sleep.
We did not sleep for 2 hours.
Like 0?
There's literally no
We
way
slept
that
for an hour maybe?
There's no way that on that plane we slept for 2 hours. I don't know what delirium you're in, but we did not sleep for 2 hours.
I think we tried. We were like, well, it's 3 a.m. We should probably try to sleep because we have to get up at 5.
Yep, something like that. I remember falling asleep a little bit.
It didn't work.
We did not do 2 hours of sleep. But anyway, trying so hard to figure out what works well.
Yes.
And when you work on that, sometimes it is truly the most obscure things that people cling to. The most obscure things.
Yep.
And why that one landed? I don't know. There's other stuff we do I think is funny.
Right? We've had other ones we love that are just like flop.
Yep. Yeah. And that's okay.
That's the really challenging, fascinating part of social media to me is you just have to show up every day and then certain things will land.
Right.
And the algorithm will love it and the people will love it. And you just don't really know exactly what that's going to be. So you just have to keep showing up. That's kind of the fun adventure of it. So
what are the things that we enjoyed? Like the things that were the most enjoyable? We probably we've touched on them as we've just been talking. So what keeps you driven to want to continue?
Yeah, I think usually in my life, in my career, what it comes down to is I get to build something of my own and I feel really passionate about that and like pride and satisfaction when I do build something and then people. And so it's because of you in large part, because like I said, I just don't think I'd like it by myself.
So you have a partner.
So it's so like rewarding to go through all the highs and lows with somebody and be able to say all the real and have somebody get it, because you can tell your family members things and they love you and they want to understand, but they're a lot of the times like, whatever you say, I don't get what you're saying. But also we get to help people and connect with people. It's been super fun to connect with people on social media.
Right. It has been.
We got a little community and we've got, we've made friends in messages. I was just talking about during our, we did like that 12 Days of Christmas giveaway and I ended up talking to people in the messages, which is so fun.
Well, and I had a couple of times I got on Zoom and actually had face-to-face conversations. And,
exactly.
And it's such a great joy to be able to do that.
Yeah. And I've connected with so many people that I either didn't know before this or I haven't talked to in years, I've messaged people I haven't talked to in 10, 15 years, like, hey, would you like any help with, planning your vacations? And they're like, actually, sure.
That'd be
and
great.
It's been so lovely.
Right.
It's a very people-oriented industry.
So the helping.
And then the whole point of it is making people have wonderful memories.
Right.
I mean, what could be better?
Right.
It's so fun. What about you?
A lot of that, I think, getting out of the closet.
Not how it sounds.
But in context, it's exactly how it sounds. Literally, I'm no longer recording like hours of
you're
voiceover
not in the closet anymore
in my studio and my home built, makeshift closet studio, which had great soundproofing, by the way. Like it was a great setup, but
yeah, it was great DIY way of making that work.
Seriously,
but
it was
probably
great.
not fun to
But I didn't. Oh my goodness, my office was the end of our. Anyway, so getting out of the closet definitely is a big part of it. But I think like you, and this is why we built a lot of these things. When we talked about what our mission statement, what our brand meant, what were we going to display to others, what was our our core values. What was important for like customer promises? Like what were we going to put out there in that space? And we both really felt passionate in that conversation about bringing people joy.
Yes.
Right. And I think the word serve came in a lot, serving people, being a servant to other people. It's not just a service. I don't want to be just a service.
Right.
I don't want to be something that you pay for and you get the service and the expected thing that's not at all. I don't want it to be transactional. Yeah. I like people way too much for it to be transactional. Right. So I feel that the serving part of what this business can do is my favorite piece of it. And that's what
Yes.
keeps driving me forward. But I'm
Mhm.
also going to touch on something we haven't talked about yet, but we talk about a lot in our own business meetings,
Yeah.
is the faith.
Yes.
Is that this is without question a very God-led business for us. And so
Yes.
bringing God into that equation, being a business that we say, God, you've got this, we're letting you
Mhm.
lead, but also having such clear direction with
Yes.
so many things that took place last year that could not have happened any
Yes.
other way except orchestrated. And
Things
so
just
the
fell
way
into place,
the-
dominoes.
and things that didn't make sense how and when they happened.
Yeah.
But in hindsight, you're like, what? How did you know, God? And
Yeah.
God's like,
How do you
hello,
know this
I know
stuff?
all the stuff. I know the stuffs. I know literally all the stuffs. So I think having
Yes.
that confidence of
Yeah.
seeing God's hand in so much of what we do,
Yeah.
it gives me more confidence to continue
sure.
to want to pursue this in a godly way, to lead a
Mhm.
business that I say, God, this is yours and I'm just serving you, Lord,
Yes.
is
Mhm.
is how it feels. And
Yeah.
again, because I feel so God-led and so confident that this was directed,
Yeah.
this was meant for us,
For sure.
everything else falls in line. It's just
Yeah.
easy. It's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy after that. And
Mhm.
yeah, I say the word easy, and you and I both
We don't
know
actually mean this
there
is
is
easy.
nothing about the last nearly 12 months of our lives that have been easy.
No. We have been
Nothing has actually
we
been
have been
easy.
working day and night, blood, sweat, and tears. Like I don't
Yep.
think we expected it to be.
I don't think we expected it to be this.
We probably should have. That sounds so dumb. Like I didn't expect that I'd be working.
I didn't expect starting a business would be hard.
It's supposed to be easy. Yeah, no. Like I work my full-time job and then I have a couple hours with my family and then I work all night long. Like,
Right.
that's life now.
Yeah.
I think I've gotten used to it, so it's manageable. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not miserable in any way. I find it very fun and fulfilling, and I'm
Fun.
passionate about it. But yeah, it's freaking hard work.
So I have our kind of last
Yes.
segue and our next kind of how we're gonna wrap this.
Yeah.
Is where do you envision? Where's your own, like, I know, like us, we've talked a lot about it, but
Right,
where
right.
do you envision Happily Booked Vacations being, let's say in another year? And
Mhm.
where do you see in that 5 and 10-year mark?
Ooh. Yeah. Don't know that I thought that far ahead.
Really? All right.
But I got dreams.
I have.
I got dreams.
I can dream real quick.
Well, I know. Oh, another thing we forgot to mention is that one of our big passions and interests is actually just watching vlogs of people go to these theme parks.
Oh
and
my
these
word,
cruises.
yes.
It's one of our hobbies, and we were like, "You watch that person go to Disney?
Oh my
every
goodness,
day?
yeah.
I watch that person go to Disney
Just
every day.
travel vlogs. You watch them? Yeah, I watch them.
That's my favorite
I'm a
YouTuber.
subscriber too.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, sub them.
So the reason I bring that up is I think we really love being travel advisors, and we are going to have a lot more clients.
Yeah.
But also, I think it'll give us the ability to travel ourselves,
Right.
and become travel, content creators.
I think it'd be so much fun.
It would.
That would
I
be
mean, what a
so
dream
much
life.
fun. Dream
know?
life.
Yeah, like you still work hard, but
Uh-huh,
you get to
uh-huh.
travel yourself, show people your travel adventures,
Right.
and then you get to help other people travel too. I mean,
Right.
that's like a dream combo.
And after so many years of telling people how much I loved going to Disney World or going to Universal or all these theme parks and fun things like that, it seems like such a natural next step to, well, then let's build that out where more people can see that.
Yeah.
And let me tell them about the things I love. They don't have to love them. The whole world isn't going to love what we do.
No.
A lot of people aren't going to love it. We're not here to satisfy the whole world. We're here to satisfy the people who like the things that
we're interested in it.
Yeah. It's kind of like, if you don't like it, keep scrolling.
Right.
We love respectfully.
Yeah.
Respectfully.
Yeah.
We love you.
With all respect.
If you
get
want to
out.
be here, we'd love you here. But if you don't want to be here, please leave.
Get out. But how
don't
fun is
cause
that to find
negativity
a tribe
here.
of people who love Disney too,
Right.
who find it so fun,
Or like want to
who
go on our
love
little cruises with us.
cruising.
And
Oh.
right. How much fun would that be?
It's so fun to meet
Yeah.
people like that.
Yeah. Yep.
To have a community and to serve people by making like the trip better, to
Right.
entertain them, to educate them about it,
Right.
and help them have a smoother experience, and
Right.
then also to literally book it for them and
Right.
make
Well,
it as
and-
easy as possible.
And how many times do you, like when we do research on a hotel,
Yeah.
trying to find the layout of that like room type and things?
Yes.
Sometimes is a chore.
It's
It's a
hard.
chore.
It can
And
be
I
hard.
know that YouTube has a lot of stuff out there, but sometimes it's very difficult to find the exact thing that you're looking for. I'm like, well,
Yep.
then we'll show people the rooms we stay in and the places
Exactly.
we go. And right. Even if it's some obscure place in, I don't know, Maryland, let's show them in case somebody needs to stay here
Yeah.
or they're in the area.
Maybe somebody would want to see this.
Maybe it's important to them. And so
Mhm.
even just putting together things that could
Yes.
or could not be helpful.
Right.
We hope it's helpful to somebody.
Right. How many times have you stayed somewhere and there's only like 4 pictures on there and it looks wonderful, and then you go and you're like, oh, those pictures were not accurate.
Oh.
And how next level an entire vlog of a place is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really fun. So
Yeah.
we'll definitely be
And I
creating
watch
more
them.
of that.
I like watching stuff like that for sure.
Mhm.
I appreciate when other content creators give me that information.
Yes.
But I also want to be able to share that kind of information with other people.
Yeah.
So
what about you? You have a 10-year vision. Let's hear what's even more.
We've already talked about it, so you won't be surprised. You will be
No.
reminded
Right.
when I tell you, when I
Right.
say this. But
Mhm.
I would love to have, in the next 5 years, I would love to have a full-time editor.
Yeah.
So that we have the ability to turn over a lot of our content a little bit faster.
Yes.
I would love to have full-time editor.
Editing is hard, guys.
Yeah. If you didn't know,
It's really hard.
for all you out there doing it, great job.
Yes. We're impressed.
Great job, because it's
Mhm.
hard. So full-time editor. I would love to have a full-time administrator as
Yeah.
well, and somebody to just kind of help keep track of some of those details and things like that.
That would be amazing.
That would be amazing. Okay. But in 10 years, I would love to be able to have a collective of, young women,
Yeah.
and not exclusionary of men, if men want to be part of it, of course. But just, I
is the
have
vision
I
we're
have a
focusing on,
collective
yeah.
of friends and family who would 100% come work for me if
They've already been asking it. too.
right. And I think about, all of a sudden it clicked and I was like, this is an opportunity for me to supply something to somebody else who, like me for a lot of years, was a stay-at-home mom
Yes.
and would love to have some other income, right?
Yes.
But you still have babies to take care of. And so there's still like a balance of taking care of your family. This is your full-time job, but you need to, or you would like to, maybe it's just a passion.
Yeah.
I've had so many mom friends, young moms, older moms, everything in between go, oh, that sounds like that would be great.
Yes.
I would love to do that. Are you
Mhm.
kidding me? I love to teach and train and create processes.
Yes.
And how much fun would that be to then turn what we've created into a place that can serve
yeah.
others
Right.
and serve other people who
Other
are
employees.
in a position where they would love to be able to do this. They don't know how to break into it, but let me help train you. Let me help
Yes.
teach you. And then let me show you how you can
Mhm.
have your vacations paid for, right?
Yeah. Right.
Or make
Or
money
work from home.
and work from home. And
That's many people's dream right now, is to be able to work from home.
so my dream is to be able to support young moms and women who just are looking for that next step.
Yes.
And maybe would like a direction, but also have a passion and a love for travel and,
Yeah.
those kind of things.
That would be so fun
So
to have a team.
that's my giddy dream. Like inside of me, I'm like, I want to help people.
Yeah.
I want to help others.
Yes.
And that I would love to do.
That's a great way to do it.
So I think that is where I would like to see us in 10 years. How cool is that?
Oh, I love teaching too.
Yeah, it'd be so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I see us. That's where I see the future. I mean, that's
I like it.
That's a few years from now.
I approve.
But, I'm along for the ride and I'm along for whatever adventure it gives us. I feel a lot of pivots are going to come.
Sure.
And we've already experienced several pivots in the last year.
Yep.
And we're okay with it because that's part of life.
Yeah.
Because something comes up and you go, oh, okay, well.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes. I think that's just going back to your point about faith, and we know that God is leading this. Like, even though we know it's going to be hard and there's going to be a lot of bumps in the road,
right.
it still feels really good because just every door and every window and every obstacle has been just opened to make it clear that this is what we're supposed to do. So that just feels good.
Yeah.
Just feels like I'm where I'm supposed to be.
I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Yeah.
Even if it's hard.
Even if it feels like a weight, even if it feels like, and I think you and I have both experienced this because we've talked about it, where you almost get ahead of yourself and you get excited. I just want it now. I want it. I want it now. I want it now. I don't want it in 10 years or next year.
Right. That sounds so far away.
And the more that we realize we don't know and the more we have to learn, the more it becomes a little daunting. Yeah. But I think that's actually a really pleasant reminder that there's a step. This step has to be done before this step, and this, you know, you have to, and it's so, I know, dumb and cliche, but you have to crawl before you walk. Like you have to walk before you run. There's steps involved that are required. And I think we're just in a required step that takes a lot of endurance, perseverance, patience, and a lot of getting out of your head, getting out of the self-talk that is so negative. And we do it, I think, even without thought.
Oh yeah.
We question.
It's really easy.
Right? Like,
what am I doing? This sucks.
Or
this isn't good.
And so there's some of these things that naturally kind of deflate you a little bit. Yeah. But I think it actually helps the humility, because that's, you can't have a servant heart. True. And then like,
if everything went perfectly, we'd be like, wow, we're amazing.
I think it's probably very good to have a little deflating moments. And sometimes I just think maybe I need the deflating moments in order to be the best version of me. Yeah. The best, most humbled servant version that I, with God's help, am asking to, you know. Right. So maybe that's.
You wise.
You so wise?
How'd you get so wise?
I don't know. I'm old.
Not every old person is wise.
True that. No. Well,
all right. Well, our first podcast in the books.
Woo! Bye. No. Yeah. Now get out of here. Go home now. Wait, you probably are at home. YouTube, right? Okay, yeah, you're probably home.
Probably. On lunch break, maybe.
Or on the toilet.
Don't tell us if you are.
If you're on the toilet, please do not comment.
That's between you and your bathroom.
Right. Nobody else needs to know that. It's okay.
Thanks for unpacking with us today. If this episode made you smile or feel encouraged or maybe even start dreaming about your next trip, make sure you follow along because we have a lot more to unpack.
And remember, travel doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be perfectly yours. We'll see you again next time on Happily Unpacking. And until then,
let's get you happily booked.
Tickets in hand, maps in a pile, little bit lost, laughing in style, no filter.